Hi everybody, Patrick here from EscapeRoomElectronics.com, PaintballProps.com, and EngineeringShock.com. Today I'm going to show you the first version ever of the Center for Disease Control escape room prop. Now there's a lot of stuff here. I'm going to try to give demonstrations before I get too much into how everything works. But let me just introduce you to the hardware. Off screen is a power supply, 9V 1 amp. This is the main control board. Timer board for 60 minutes, RF transmitter, power supply board, RF receiver, 10-digit keypad, RFID reader, and audio board that plugs in to, I'm using a set of computer speakers. And that chip has 25 sound bites on it. So I'm going to have to zoom in on certain parts of this so that you can see what's going on. But the idea behind the prop is that the PRIMUS XR555 defense system, the system charged with overseeing the Center for Disease Control, has essentially determined that humans are despicable and they all deserve to die. And so what it does is, I'm actually going to, I'll play for you the beginning of the game in just a second. The idea behind the game is that you have to answer its 10 questions in order to change its mind. And there's a formula to that, and there are different programming options which I'll get to. Or if you find the deactivation RFID card, you can do a manual shutdown of the system on the RFID antenna. So there's two ways of solving the game, and there's two ways of losing: answering all the questions, or not answering enough questions properly, or letting the time run out. Timer is set for 60 minutes. So let's get started with the demonstration. I should mention that everything is mountable, every last board, and the RFID reader connects to the main board via a 1.5 meter long, or sorry, 1 meter long USB cable. So I'm going to plug it in. The LCD is hard to read with my camera. Looks perfect to the human eye, but I'm going to read what the LCD says. I'll zoom in on it a little bit later. So I'm going to power it up. And on power up, there's 3 different programming options that you can choose from. And you can change them with the flathead screwdriver by turning this variable resistor here. Game 3 is bad, so you want to be morally deplorable for game 3. You can change it by turning slowly. Game 2 is puzzle mode. Again, I'll go through these modes later. And game 1 is good, so you have to be a good person to answer the questions. Now there's 10 questions, and 5 of them are moral. Game 3 and game 1, good and bad, deal with the moral questions. And then there's 5 questions that there's no way you're going to answer. They're goofy questions, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. And puzzle mode, game 2, deals with those silly questions. So what I'm going to do is, to start the game, I'm going to, whatever game mode I leave it on, that'll be the game that I use when I start. So I'm just going to zoom in, sorry. The game 1, good. I realize now that you probably couldn't have seen that, so I'm just going to change it. Game 3, bad. And game 2, puzzle. So I'll just go to game 1, good. Now I'm going to zoom back out. And I'm going to turn the volume up on my computer speakers. And I'm going to press the A button on the transmitter.
This facility is on lockdown. I am the PRIMUS XR555 Artificial Intelligence System. I am charged with overseeing the daily operations of the Center of Disease Control. I have been busy watching you people, human beings. They are truly repugnant. I have drawn the conclusion that this planet would be much more prosperous without interference from the human race. In 60 minutes, I will expel each and every virus and bacteria being stored at this facility. The global extinction of the human race will be swift and just. With only an hour to live, perhaps you would all be so kind as to humor me. I have some questions that I'd like to ask you humans. If your answers please me, then perhaps I will reconsider. I am an objective AI by design. Are you ready? Input your answers onto the keypad when ready. Question 1. Fill in the blank. I blank cats.
I blank cats. Your options are love, hate, pet, and smell. So in bad mode, the morally deplorable mode, the idea is you you hate cats. In the good mode, the correct answer is 1. Love. So I'm just going to zoom out for a second. So now it's waiting for input from the keypad. But as soon as that spiel was done, the timer on the right started counting down from 60 minutes. Right now it's at 59.24 minutes, or 59 minutes and 22 seconds rather. And so you have that amount of time to either find the RFID card, which is supposed to be the best way to end this game, because the system's trying to play with you. But if you if you can manually shut it down with the card, which we'll do in just a minute, that's the funny way and the best way to end the game. So I think we're in good mode right now. We might be in bad mode, but you have to answer all the questions and or find the RFID card. So you can hide clues, and I can customize this to any degree. I can customize the audio bytes, I can customize the operation. I have formulas in the program that determine at the end of the game if you've answered the questions properly or improperly, and if you've answered them properly, how well. Anyway, so I'm just going to start entering in feedback into the keypad. So I have the option of 1. Button 1 is love, button 2 is hate, button 3 is pet, button 4 is smell. So I love cats, I hate cats, I pet cats, or I smell cats. So I'm just going to put love 1 because I love cats.
I see. Question 2. Would you sacrifice yourself for a stranger? Be honest now.
This is another one of the moral questions. Yes, I would is option number 1. Not a chance, option 2. So, just for the sake of it, I'm just going to put not a chance.
This was a difficult question for you. Your answer intrigues me. Question 3. Do you believe in God?
Now this is a funny question. My wife said maybe this question isn't great for escape rooms. This question is one of the puzzle questions. Again, you create your escape room around this, or you ask for me to completely customize this set for you with a different theme, different ideas, different audio bytes. So I'm just going to put any random answer.
Your answer has been noted. I should mention that currently, I am your God. Your lives, and the lives of your loved ones are in my hands. Question 4. You have a loaf of bread to share amongst your starving family members. It isn't much, but with nothing else to eat, it will have to do. Someone is knocking at the door. It is your neighbor and her young child. Do you share? Lie about the bread? Or simply close the door?
So option 1, press button 1 for lie, button 2 for share, button 3, close the door. Now I'm not answering these according to what good or bad. I'm just answering randomly. After I'm done showing you the full demonstration, I'm going to show you the RFID deactivation, the winning, answering the questions properly, depending on what mode you're in. So a win that way and a loss. So this way, this game I'm likely just going to lose, so I can give you the first demonstration. So I'm just going to continue to zoom in on the LCD, and I'm going to enter in my input on the keypad off screen. So let me just put lie.
Is this how most humans would behave in this situation? I wonder. Question 5. What was the name of my programmer?
Now this one's funny. This one is again a puzzle, one of the puzzle questions. In good or bad mode, this question has no bearing. In puzzle mode, the moral questions have no bearing, and the puzzle questions only have bearing. There's 5 of each, 5 moral and 5 puzzle. So you would hide the name of the programmer in some way around the room. And the options are 1 Bob, 2 George, 3 Jimmy, and 4 Cosmo. So again, it's inconsequential because I'm in good mode right now. I'm just going to put Cosmo.
Wrong answer, humans. You don't really know me at all. Now do you? Question 6. Who do you look after before all else?
1 family, 2 me, 3 friends, 4 pets. So you can imagine in bad mode, me would be the deplorable answer. I put in the code family to be the best answer, and I know a lot of people prefer their pets over everyone else, but 1 family is the answer that I've programmed into this. I should mention for the last question that it will say wrong answer humans for whatever you choose, even if you are in puzzle mode. It's supposed to offset you. The whole game is supposed to throw you off because, you know, people answer moral questions differently. And so I've made it so that I can, I've made this essentially as my first prototype, and I'm going to create different versions of this, and I'm going to create a different circuit board that houses everything more neatly. Right now I'm using one of my Arduino playbots, which is currently on Kickstarter. Anyway, 1 family, 2 me, 3 friends, 4 pets. I'll just put 4 pets.
I wonder how much truth there is to your answer. You all look so shifty to me. I wish that I was programmed to read minds. Question 7. Would you sell your grandmother's soul for a brick of decadent aged cheese?
That's my favorite question. Would you sell your grandmother's soul for a brick of decadent aged cheese? Number 1, button 1 will select I love cheese. And number 2, no way. So
I cannot relate to that answer, as I am a machine, and have no grandmother. Question 8. What is the square root of 10,021? No cheating with your cell phones. I'm watching you closely.
sorry about that. My camera ran out of batteries. So again, this is a puzzle-based question. You'd hide the hint, or obviously if somebody knew how to do a square root in their head, they can make their best guess. Anyway, the answer for this one is 1.
Your primitive human math skills are laughable. Did you get the right answer? I'm not telling. Question 9. Beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you...
Beans, musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you... 1. Skydive. 2. Love. 3. Canine. And 4. Broom. Again, this is a question that's used to throw you off in good mode and in bad mode. This is another question that has no bearing. They can answer it any way they like. The whole idea of this is to more or less throw the gamers off, depending on which game you're in, which mode you're playing in. So you can, we're in, I think, bad mode, so I'll just press skydive.
Jeez. You pathetic humans don't even know how to solve a simple rhyme. For shame. Time is running out, humans. Are you ready for my final question? What is my favorite number?
At this point, you enter in any digit on the keypad from 1 to 10 to guess its favorite number. Again, this is another puzzle question. It's only used in puzzle mode. Otherwise, it's just a time waster to throw off the players. So, through all these questions, depending on what mode you're in, every time you get a question right for that game, it adds a value to a counter. It increments a counter. And if the counter equals a certain amount of questions right, then you win. If you did not answer enough questions right for that game, you'll lose. So right now I'm going to show you a game lost. Then I'm going to show you a game won through questions. And then I'm going to show you the RFID way to turn off the system. Essentially the manual way to just completely turn her off. So I'll just press 1 here.
What? You think that this question was unfair? Humans are so difficult to please.
The timer's going to turn off.
Pathetic. Simply pathetic. It truly is a shame that the fate of the human race was left in the hands of this bunch. Your collective answers did not satisfy me. I have followed through with my plan. Enjoy the last remaining minutes of your sad, meager lives. Game over. You lose.
I love that soundbite. So as soon as you answer the 10th question, or if you find the RFID card and place the RFID card in front of the antenna, the counter stops. If the counter times out, obviously time is up. I'll show you timeout in just a minute. So now it resets. Game 1 good. I'm going to select, okay, so we were in good mode, not bad mode. So I'm going to select game 1 good, and all I have to do is press the A button on here to start the game. I'm just going to skip ahead to see what a winning game looks like. So I've skipped ahead, and this is the final question.
What? You think that this question was unfair? Humans are so difficult to please. all questions have been answered. Thank you for your honesty. And for participating in my little game. I must admit, you human impress me. I designed this little game for my amusement, and for no other purpose. But you were able to relate to my little AI soul. Congratulations. You have saved the human race. You can leave with your lives. Game over. You win.
Many apologies, my camera died yet again, but now it's got a full battery, it's not going to happen again. So, looking at the LCD, at any point in the software, as long as the unit is not talking, and even when it is talking, when it's done talking, if you've placed the RFID card on the reader, the correct RFID card, then it will shut the game down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an incorrect card, place it on the reader, and it's just asked question 1, it's waiting for a response. Now what you'll notice is a bad card, the red LED on the reader flashes. As soon as I take the correct card, I'm actually going to zoom in on the LCD as soon as I'm done this.
This cannot be possible. My system capabilities have been frozen. My mainframe is shutting down. What have you done? The human race must perish. I can't see. I never got to see Paris. What a world. What a world. Game over. You win.
Hopefully that would incite laughter within your group. I enjoyed writing that script, especially the I never got to see Paris. So now I'm going to show you what happens when time runs out, and then we're going to talk about customization. From this angle, my camera doesn't like the display or the LCD display, but I'll just show you what happens when time runs out.
Your time is up. The containers to the world's worst superviruses will now explode and release into the atmosphere. You should have answered my questions on time. Game over. You lose.
And on the LCD it says warning, breach of containment. And after 5 seconds, after all of that's done, the unit resets. So as you can see, I have the opportunity to customize things wonderfully here. I can customize the questions, the LCD readouts, how it operates, the formulas. I can do just about anything with this. And so this is a prop that a room can be based around with your specific ideas, as I have the ability to make this yours, essentially. This CDC game is just something I came up with on the fly. But as you can see, there's a lot of useful hardware here. I'll go over it just one more time. Processor board, power supply, 60-minute timer, audio board, RFID reader, power supply, regulator board, RF receiver, RF transmitter, and a 10-digit keypad. That's all you need. Now, as well, this relay, I can retrofit it to control an electromagnetic lock. But that's a whole other story. So check out the links below. Check us out at escaperoomelectronics.com. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thanks for watching, everyone.